Hey, it's Steve here. Just wanted to just go over something. It happened to me in terms of this whole idea of the fivefold ministry, and kind of what it was about. Just share an experience. You have like the fivefold ministry. You have apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. Right? Okay. Well, for me, it was something that I was just kind of introduced to. I heard the concept. I mean, I never searched Google or anything, but at the time I was going to H-Rock. And I went for the Revival Alliance conference, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And, I heard of these concepts. And so it was interesting, it was new to me. But because I don't search Google and stuff when I'm around the things of God, I'm just sort of like, maybe a little childlike. I just like, okay, cool, that sounds, it sounds great. And one day, I had known that Lou Engle was in town. He was at Mott Auditorium. And I decided to go because he comes from my hometown, and so I decided to go and like just see what's going on. And so I came, I started coming to the Wednesday night services, really, and of course you got to realize that I felt like from where I come from, I felt like there was going to be some prophetic person or prophet that would say, you know what, this one over here. I can see that your life is a mess, so you need to leave. No, I was fully thinking they're going to kick me out, when I don't know. That's just where I come from. Point is that I showed up, and one night I heard Lou Engle praying. He was actually consecrating Mott Auditorium that night. And I remember when he said, we're going to consecrate Mott Auditorium, I thought, well, I really have to leave now. I got nothing to say. The point is that I did stay, and I kind of went over into the corner and, felt like, by myself. And I'm just like, said some prayer like, God, like bring people to this place and, make it a place of healing and that was it. Okay. And I went and sat down, and later that night, Lou was consecrating people, and, I was sitting off to the side. And there's a lot of young people there. And so I was just, kind of, I don't know, feeling maybe less than and stuff. The point is that as Lou was praying for people, I was just sitting here. Well, he came and sat maybe 15 or 20 feet from me. And again, I don't know Lou. I've met him once or just talked to him once. The point is, though, is that I heard him pray. Now, I knew nothing about really the office of the prophet or anything like that, but I heard him pray. And I'm telling you, this changed my whole life, because what he was doing basically was talking to his dad. And, if you ever heard Lou Engle pray, it's mighty, and that's he holds the office of prophet. Okay, that's a whole different grid. And so I'm expecting I'm going to hear, I don't know, what I heard was so absolutely intimate. And it was something like this. He's saying, Dad, Dad, Dad. He's, got his eyes closed, but Dad, you promised me revival, Dad. You promised me revival. Here we are in the place where the revival happened. Dad, you promised, Dad. I remember I'm sitting there going, whoa, I have never heard something so intimate and so personal. So I'm just sitting there like, whoa, changing, my head's like, what is that? And then I heard him say this, and this is what I knew was for me. He didn't know me. I'm just sitting here with my back to him. Then he prayed. He said, God, bring people from the church that have been wounded by the church. Make this a place of healing, God. Bring them here. Now, by this time, now I'm crying. I'm wrecked, okay? Point is that night, it changed my life because I heard this intimacy I had no concept of. I went home and said a prayer. My prayer, I think, at that time was, God, send someone into my kid's life to help them. Because there's no way that I thought there's anything I could be or do that could help them. So I'm like, bring some, like maybe I should send a link of Lou Engle or something. The point is, okay, no. that's where my prayer life started. It started to get intimate, Dad, kind of thing. Well, then, as I was going to H Rock, one day I was going up Lake Avenue, coming, westbound, and I'm turning on Lake Avenue, and it occurs to me that Lou is at Mott Auditorium, and then Jay is at Ambassador. And I thought to myself, this is just me, I thought, I wonder how far apart those two places are. Well, I looked, and it's 3 miles, about 3 miles. And when I say about, it's like, literally, I think the property line, if I remember correctly, the north side to the front of Ambassador is 3 exact miles. And remember now, this is how I'm processing, okay? It's not some big, announcement or something. And so at that time I said, well, that's complete. That's complete. And I had learned, what Lou Engle and Chan had done with the call and all these kind of things. So they're literally there 3 miles apart. And that was how I learned about the joining of the apostle and prophet and the power that can come out of that. Okay. Now, taking this whole idea of the fivefold ministry, there's a lot of people that are I don't know, whatever. I don't search Google much. I don't want to hear what people have to say. But you have apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher. So then it occurs to me after, connecting with my kids. Now this is 6-7 years ago. The point is 6 years ago, whatever. The point is that I've shown up. I'm single. I'll just say this, that I started the process way back when. I'm the one that broke the covenant with their mother. I'm the one that used coke and kind of got this whole ball rolling, getting sucked up in culture. So I decided I had to be the one to bring it back together. My whole near-death experience was literally God turning my heart to my children. Literally in this experience. You have to see that post. That's all it was. They're the only ones that mattered. That's all I can say. And that's the whole story. But the point is this. It occurs to me today, after my kids, things aren't perfect, but you know what? Each one of them know we've connected in ways where they know I have their back, they know I love them, I know, it's an amazing thing. They're amazing kids. It occurs to me today, I kind of woke up this morning, I said, got the fivefold ministry. I said, you know what? That's what fathers have to model in their home with their kids. Not that they're going to hold the office of or whatever. Forget all that. That's something else. But there's times for me to be apostolic, to give my kids vision, to give them vision. That's the function of the apostle-like. There's times for me to be prophetic, and that is to look in the future. It's kind of even forth-telling. And saying, you know what, I see you guys are amazing, like, go in that direction, there's a great thing coming. And there's also time to go, hey, I see you going in the wrong direction. Again, we're called to, Paul said, I wish that you all would prophesy. Well, prophecy is encouragement, and there's a time for it to be a warning to it, but with love, okay. The third one is evangelist. Well, through my life, not through first of all, throwing scriptures at your kids ain't going to do nothing, but through your life, imperfect as it is, that's how I evangelize to my kids, is to be an authentic father. And not too much information, but be authentic. That's because I probably am the only Bible they'll ever read until they actually for themselves get in, if they choose to do that. So that's the evangelist through my life. And then pastor, of course, there's time for your father to say, come on, you're really hurting, and be a nurturer. I mean, no one can nurture like like a mother or like a woman, but still, yeah, I hug them and all that, okay? Then the teacher, I mean, as simple as, hey, I'm going to teach my kid how to ride a bike. I'm also going to, through my experience, say, here's, I'm going to teach them, I don't know, how to do business or how to face life. It's teacher. So again, it's just in my own life, I played these different roles at different times. So that's the fivefold ministry to me. And that's kind of bringing heaven to earth with my kids. That's all. So father is like, that's the function. It all starts with where Lou was praying, hey Dad, I need some help. I need some help. And then he'll say, okay, encourage, show vision, evangelize, nurture, or teach. And he's the one that gives you the urgings to do that, okay? So to me, that's the fivefold ministry because, again, we're not called to, I'm not in the office of any of those, but to my family, you better believe it. And hope, and that will influence them. And I hope to be better at it in the future. Anyway, just want to share that. Have a great day. What is today? It's Tuesday. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.